This is Mount Stromlo Observatory.
For over 80 years, it was a hub for astronomy, playing a key role in discoveries including the existence of dark energy. But in 2003, everything changed overnight when some of the worst bushfires in Australia's history struck. The fires caused over $40 million in damage, destroyed decades of work, and tragically claimed a life. Stick around as I explore what remains, from the ruins of some of the world's largest telescopes to the once extravagant Director's House, haunting reminders of nature's devastating power.
Now, as soon as you arrive, you can see the scars left behind by the bushfire. See this building? Apparently, this was the Yale Columbia Telescope. The Yale Columbia Telescope was actually located in South Africa, but because of increased light pollution, had to move to Canberra in 1952. Ironically, these days there's a lot of light pollution in Canberra compared to back in 1952. For that reason, I believe there's other observatories located in the middle of nowhere that are more favoured by researchers. Let's walk over here and see what we can find. There's a sign here with a little bit of the history of the observatory. Mount Stromlo Observatory first opened in 1924, and this year it's actually its 100-year anniversary. I didn't plan this at all, so it was a little funny coincidence that I happened to come at this time. Apparently, Professor Brian Schmidt was based at Mount Stromlo, and his research team were awarded a Nobel Prize in 2011 for their discovery that the universe is expanding at an accelerating rate. I didn't know that. I did some research after filming and found out that Professor Schmidt is one of only 2 Australians to ever receive a Nobel Prize in physics. He received the prize for his involvement in the discovery that the universe's expansion is not actually gradually slowing down, which was previously accepted. When I was younger, I loved astronomy and idolized people like Carl Sagan and Neil deGrasse Tyson, so I feel like I should have known this earlier. Now here's one of the main domes as well that was destroyed by the fires.
This was Stromlo's largest and most advanced telescope. It was sadly destroyed in the fires, but the outside dome is being rebuilt.
And the inside is full of hazardous materials, so it's actually impossible to go in. Maybe these are commemorative pieces dealing with the bushfires. I'm not sure. I see a sign over here that says Walking on the Moon sculpture. Let's see what that's all about. Now I don't see any sculpture over here, but I'm pretty sure what they're referring to is this little thing here. It sort of looks like the surface of the moon. Now I can see something over here. It looks like a little sculpture or some sort of artwork or something. It almost looks like something out of Mad Max, or like a satellite that's fallen out of the sky. Or something out of Star Wars, maybe. Now just over here we've got another sign, Other Lives of Mount Stromlo. It talks a little bit about the manufacture of optical glass here. And this optical glass was used in artillery, rangefinders and other devices apparently during World War II. Now there's a massive house over here, and I think that was the director of the observatory's house back in the day.
Observatory House was a massive and opulent house for the director of the observatory and his family. It was destroyed in the fires, but almost $1 million was spent to partially rebuild it and keep it structurally sound. The inside is still completely bare.
And it was built in 1928. I think the director got a pretty good deal. Let's go in and see what we can find. Okay, now I see where the voices were coming from. And as you can see, the building has been completely gutted. There's a few things here they've recovered from this building during the bushfires. This would have been the fireplace. And as you can see, that would have been the second floor. Maybe another fireplace on that floor. Some sort of instrument that they would have used back in the day. Let's have a look at what's in here. Got a piano here.
Do you really need that many fireplaces? Let's go out and see what else we can find. There's another building here that seems to have been destroyed in the bushfires. Apparently it was the director's garage and storage room. As you can see, there's nothing left of it now. Now just over here you have part of the ANU school. So this mountain is still used by ANU for their School of Astronomy. Now it looks like there's a building here that was destroyed in one of the bushfires. This is the site of the Great Melbourne Telescope. At the time it was built in 1869, it was the largest fully steerable telescope in the world. It remained one of the largest in the world up until the 21st century. It was destroyed in the fires, but there have been attempts to salvage some of the parts. You can see it's just been totally gutted. So this was the Great Melbourne Telescope, a 50-inch telescope apparently, and it was built in 1868. Now this would be part of the ANU's school, but over here I can see a dome over here. And I think these ones are probably still in use today.
After filming, I discovered that there aren't actually any working research telescopes on Mount Stromlo anymore. All telescopes are now located at Siding Spring Observatory in Coonabarabran, which is a whopping 5.5-hour drive from Sydney and more than 6 hours from Canberra. As a side note, I think I actually passed the director of this observatory while walking around Mount Stromlo.
Now I've got some domes up here, let's have a look at these. Yeah, so this is the Uppsala Dome. Apparently it was constructed in Sweden and it was in use until 2003 when it was destroyed in the bushfires. I've got 3 more little domes down here. Let's have a look at these ones. Yeah, so apparently these were destroyed in 2003 as well, but it looks like they've been rebuilt. And it says here that they're used for public open astronomy nights still. So there it is, Mount Stromlo Observatory. An interesting place with an interesting history. It's kind of cool to come to a place like this because I always used to want to study astronomy as a kid, but I never ended up doing it. So I guess it's interesting to think about other paths I could have taken, maybe in another life. Anyway, that's it. Catch you later.